touch. Now I need to explain, so that if this is your first time, this is my website. When you subscribe for the signal, this is what you're going to see. Now the one on the right, the one on the left is just the trading platform, which is Deriv. Okay, now you will see on the right, the one on the right is my website with signal service. So once you log in, your welcome page, you are going to be here, which is for goes outside. Now TMNmedia Signal offers just two major signal versions. Okay, the first one, which has to do with goes outside. Now this goes outside, I like the goes outside mainly because of I don't have any other option of exiting. Me, I just prefer that. So instead of trying to exit, whatever, no option of exit. Okay, that's for goes outside. Now the second one, it's for touch. Now the touch trade, the initial signal page that I had were all about touch trading. Okay, even my app was all about touch trading signals. Okay, they were all for touch trading. Now I need you to understand how touch trading works. The easiest thing I will do is probably come here to where you have on the touch and use that probably to explain a little bit to you. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Now, in touch trade, now you can see my mouse here. You can see this guy here. Now, that is your barrier offset. In touch trade, you're actually saying the direction should either go down or up. So if you are saying it's going down, your barrier is going to be a minus barrier. If you are saying this guy, this is where you're starting from. This where the road starts is where you're starting from. That will be your entry point. So from your entry point to this line, which is your barrier offset. Now, for you to have a line above, it means your barrier offset is a plus. Now, if you have this line below, it means your barrier offset is minus. I need you to understand there are two of them. There is touch, no touch. We are not working with no touch. No touch means it's not going to go there. It's not going to go either up, it's not going to go either down, whichever barrier direction you choose. Now, we are not working with no touch. We are only working on touch. Now, for goes outside too, you have goes outside state between. You are only working with goes outside. Goes outside is just exactly opposite of touch. Goes outside has two barriers, one on top, one below. So we are simply saying for goes outside that this price is going to go above this level or is going to go below this level. So you are actually picking two sides, okay, for goes outside. But for touch, which I'm covering in this video, I will simply explain it this way that I've done. You have a positive side. Now I need to let you understand how to navigate and get to the page. Okay, so we have three versions of touch signals available. Now, number one of them is just sell direction, meaning all the barrier is going to be negative. Okay, now for that I have signals available for just 5 indices: 10, 25, you can see them here, 10, 25, 50, RDB, RDBO. Now I need you to understand the rule for touch is very simple. This is the rule I have to explain before we start trading. Okay, I may not be able to see a signal that will allow me to do that, so I'm going to explain first before we do trade with the signal. Now I need you to understand this. You have a maximum of 2 to 3 trades per day, whichever signal you are going to be using. Okay, you have 2 to 3 signals to do. That's just all you have, 2 to 3 signals. Now, per each trade, you are actually targeting, for touch trade, we are targeting 10%. Now, if you are trading like now, you are trading touch here, you'll be looking at a time frame of 4 minutes. Okay, 4 minutes, not 5, 4 minutes. You'll be looking at 4 minutes. I prefer 2 to 5 minutes actually, but I prefer 4 minutes and 2 minutes. Okay, I like 2 minutes and 4 minutes, and I'm going to explain. So you can do 2 to 5 minutes, but whichever it is, let me show you an example so that you can see. Let's look at 25 for instance. Okay, 5 minutes here. If we have the barrier at 1.5, you see what we get. Okay, now you will get roughly 10%. Are you seeing it? You get 10% using the same barrier offset. Remember, I said this is for you to understand. For the touch, we have the one that provides only one direction, that sell direction, minus barrier only. Okay, that's this first one I'm showing you. Now there is another one that has sell and buy. It means it has two directions. Okay, if the signal here is showing you buy, it means it's going to be positive. If the signal is showing green, you are going to use plus barrier. If it's showing red, you are going to use minus barrier. Now this one has about 4 index. Okay, this one has about 4 index. You also see the report of the signals here. All the signals that I've generated today, you can see them. 1 out of 10. You can see, you can check their updates yourself. You'll see how consistent or inconsistent they are. You will get to see them. They are in the open. Now I need you to understand. So how do you trade touch? Very simple. Compared to goes outside, you just enter, you wait for your results. Okay, you are not doing anything. But for touch, you have a responsibility to do one thing. Now, what is that responsibility? Number one, you can enter the trade. Let's go back to the sell touch. Okay, I just showed you that I just showed you 2. Okay, I'm going to also show you the third one. The third one is a combination of from this sell and buy. Okay, the third one is a combination of this sell and buy, but in a smaller time frame. So meaning you are going to be receiving more signals than what we have here. Like here, like this, you can generate over 100 trade signals per day. But in the smaller time frame, you'll be able to generate even much more, 200 and above every day. Now you don't need plenty signals. You only need 2 to 3. Okay, that's why they are limited to just 4, so that it's not going to be too excessive. The reason why this one, now this one does not have you be able to disable anything. You are not going to disable anything. All the signals are going to be coming free and flowing freely. So you have 10, you have 25. Once there is signal, it's going to let you know. If it is a green, if it is you are going to be using plus barrier, it's going to show. But you have not, if you have not traded before, you need to understand when we are saying buy direction, you are going to be using plus barrier. So that's why I usually recommend for people to trade one side alone. Okay, just learn with, but you see this guy does not have so much signal. Why? For most of my students who know my strategy and who have taught the strategy, this is designed based on that strategy. It's only when the trend reach 90, okay, below 90, that's when this one covers. Okay, this first touch. Okay, the signal for this touch is different from the way this one is structured. This one is structured, the sell, buy and sell. This guy is structured for 5 minutes. Okay, it's from a 5-minute setup. They are not the same. Okay, they are not the same signal. The signal you have in the sell touch is not the same. Now, this guy is not the same, right? Okay, this sell touch is the below 90 setup, while this buy and sell 2 direction has, I'm explaining this so that you get to understand. Okay, this one is for 5 minutes. Now you see, and I have this one, which I'll tell you how you'll be able to access it. You'll be able to access it from the robot page. Okay, if you go to the robot page, you'll be able to access this guy. This only covers just two indices, okay, 25 and 75. Now, it covers these two on a lower time frame, 1 minute time frame, instead of that one that covers on 5 minutes. This covers on 1 minute. So more signals are generated on this one. Now, they are all, now this one combines of both buy and sell. I need you to understand, both buy and sell. So I'm going to run an example with one for you, okay, how the touch works. The first thing I need to explain, which is very important before we run the trade, I want you to look at the left hand side right now, okay? Now let's say I'm going to use a simple figure, okay? So we have here, you select, once you select the index, you come here to syntactic, you look for the one you want to select. Let's say we are looking for 25. So I want to change it so that you will see the default values and then we'll edit it. So I'll now tell you what we're going to do. So then here you will come and look for touch, no touch. Remember, we are working with touch. Now, by default, you can see this value by default, it gives us like 74 something. Okay, this plus 9 something gives us 74 something. So let's say we want to set up first for a sell direction. We believe the market is going to go down. Remember, if it's going down, that will be a minus. So I will come here and change this to minus. Now, if you look at the settings, okay, for that, the settings I have here, you'll see I have minus, okay, so I do it like this. I'll say 1.6, okay. This 1.6 is on 5 minutes. What did it give me? It gives me 10.6. Good, not a problem. Now, this gives me 10%. Now, you see this first one I just placed is for a minus barrier that is going down. And I'm not going to be clicking on does not touch. I'm going to be clicking on touch. Let me click on one for you so that you get to see as an example. So we get to go and view it. You will see that our barrier, we will be, see the barrier, okay? See the price is going up. But you can see the barrier is below. Look at the barrier here. It's below. The barrier is below. Now, if you now have this thing running, look at the time here. If this trade runs for 50 to 60 seconds and you have not won it, you are seeing your profit, this profit, potential profit, whatever. This one is now minus 50. The next thing you do, already, this has already used like 40-something percent. I mean 40-something seconds. It is still at 50-something percent. All you need to do is to come here and click on sell at market. And when you click on the sell at market, make sure it has already stopped. Now, what does this mean? It means I was trying to make 10%. I was not able to make 10%. It went opposite direction. So I sold out so that I can exit that market. Once you have spent 1 minute on a trade and it's not pulling through, it's not as if it's very close. If it's very close, I will show you example of when it's very close. You will be seeing less than 20%, less than 10%. Once it's less than 20%, it's close. Allow it a little few seconds. That's why you have from 50 seconds to 80 seconds. So you give it another 30 seconds. If it does not pull through, exit such markets. What is the difference between touch and goes outside? Goes outside, you don't have any escape route. You are risking 100%. But for touch, you can exit if it's not favoring you. It's going opposite direction. It's not coming down as expected. First 50 seconds, you have not won the trade, and it's not looking as if it's going to come down. Close it. Exit the market. How do you exit the market? You just see me show you. Now remember, we've only set for a minus. This is a minus, right? Now I'm going to show you. So we set up for a minus. What about if it is a plus? All you need to do is just copy the same page. Okay, we'll copy the same page. We'll just change. We'll open a new page. Okay, we open a new page and we change the barrier to plus. So now, for one index that I want to trade, okay, for one index that I want to trade, I'm expecting whichever direction it's giving me. Now, if it is a plus, if it is a buy, it will be a plus. Okay, so I have opened right now. So let me show you a trade example. Okay, I place a trade. Now, this is for, I'm saying it's going up. You can see the barrier up. You can see the barrier up here. Okay, you can see the barrier up. So let's say the thing went up, is now coming back down. Is no longer going back up. And you have stayed there for 50 seconds. You have not, where will you see your time to monitor if it has passed from the remaining time here? See me highlighting it here. And you will also see the percentage here. You can see the percentage here. Okay, I make it big enough. You can see all of them here. Okay, they are there. You can see them. You can see this guy has spent 50 seconds and it has not won. It's showing minus 40. Okay, I have seen minus 30 something. I can close. Why did I close it? Because I have spent almost 50 seconds. It has not pulled through. It's going directly opposite my prediction. My prediction is for it to go up. It didn't go up. Right now, it has gone down and I exit at a loss. Now, that is all this report you are seeing here. One, sold, sold, sold. Now, there are times this guy, the price may be very close, somewhere around here, and you have already spent 50 seconds. That is when you now extended it to 80 seconds to allow it to win so that you can still win the trade. And if it did not pull through, exit at a loss. Now, you are only to do 2 to 3 trades. Okay, you are only to do 2 to 3 trades. Now, I will also now show you how you can get to use it. Remember, I said this page, you can access it from the robot page. Okay, you'll be able to access this page from the robot page. This only concentrates on one. Okay, I have 2. You can disable. I can disable this one now and say, okay, I don't want to see 75. I only want to see 25. So I'm concentrating only on 25. So since I'm concentrating on only 25, I'm going to be waiting here and I'm going to be waiting for signal. So whichever. Now, if you also now want to be able to be ready to know which one you should expect more, all you need to do is to come to the page here and look at all this. You will see that it's going up more. Okay, it's like going up more. For it to be a little bit more simpler, use 5 minutes. You will be able to know which direction. If you are saying green, 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 you should know that you should be expecting a buy and up movement. Now, if you are seeing red, 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 you should be looking at a down movement. Okay, I'm expecting to have a down movement. Now, that will guide you to know which page you are to be on. Now, once you are on a page, you are now going to be expecting to place a trade with just this signal. Okay, right now you can see this guy, it has changed direction. It's now a red bar. So I'm going to wait for me to have like a red bar, whatever, and I'll know, oh, I'm expecting a signal. I'm expecting a signal setup to happen. So right now I'll pause and I'll be back when there is a signal to show you how to run a trade. Now, before then, I will probably change and switch this to a real account so that I can show you. Okay, I'm expecting if I could see a sell signal coming up. Okay, reason being that, okay, let me show you why I'm expecting a sell signal. In fact, let me show you from here. Okay, you can see this. You will also be able to see this anyway from, if you get to use this from the chart, you'll be able to see this. So if this guy further goes down, we should be looking for a sell. Okay, if it's going down, okay, majorly 20 bars and it's going down, the more we should be looking at a downtrend. If it's going 20 bar and moving up, we should be looking at expecting an uptrend. Now, when the signals are available, you will get to see them here. One could likely come. Remember, you have, okay, probably I will show you one trade at 4 minutes. Then I will show you one trade at 2 minutes. Okay, I said I like using 2 minutes. Okay, I don't like those option of getting out whatever. So it means I have a whole full 2 minutes to wait for my trade. So I like using 2 minutes. So I'm going to pause and okay. Don't play it now. I'm doing a recording. Sorry. I got a bit distracted. I would have shown you the signal, but I had to. I've already placed the trade anyway, and I've won the trade. Now I'll try and probably wait for another one. Okay, you will see. For those of you who know my strategy, you'll remember low and stuff like that. You'll see the setup already indicating and showing for you low. Okay, that's one trade. Okay, I just made about 50 cents, so I'm going to try. That's for like what's it called, 4 minutes. So let me see if I can show you on 2 minutes version. Okay, so I'm going to wait for another one. I'll try and see once it pops up before I click on entry so that you can get to see it. Okay, you will see the notification. There will always be notification. Okay, notifications that will pop up and ring. You can see notifications here of the alert of the previous one I just did. Okay, so I'm going to wait for another one. When I get another one, I will gladly show it. Because the signals does not just come just like you have to wait for it. Okay, unlike goes outside that is very frequent. Okay, touch, you have to wait for it to be in the direction and in line with what you want to do. So I'm gonna wait. I'll pause.
I know it was good. Because it's better than I know.
Okay, okay, I didn't get a signal there.